Hey, all, welcome to another episode of the Veterans Ranch Show right here on the Disability Channel. The Veterans Ranch, corporately based for all y'all that don't know, here in Lakeland, Florida. And we travel the state of Florida and the great state of Texas, working with veterans and their families, fighting the effects of PTS, as well as helping to bring down and eventually end the daily veteran suicide number. We've all seen we're at 44 veteran suicides a day. Folks, one is too many. We need to get that number down to zero. We simply start by, having a great conversation with that veteran, putting a grooming brush in their hand, and really just get them to start working a rhythmic motion of building a bond of trust with an animal that's inherently born not to trust anybody, with the inevitable goal of getting them to lay down heavy coats of burden and walk off a new and improved version of themselves. Again, thank you to everyone for being here. We have an absolutely amazing guest today. We're just going to take a quick break right here, and then we are going to bring in Christine Deane, the DFW networking diva. We'll be right back.
All about inclusion and really giving everyone a fair say.
Welcome to the Today Show. This is our flagship show. I am Unstoppable Tracy.
I am Zach Damon.
It is a pleasure to be here. I am excited. What is up?
We have a great show today.
Jay Stoyan here for the Disability Channel, the world's only inclusive channel for and by persons with disabilities.
Get ready to be inspired, everyone.
We have people watching from all over the world, but also all over Ontario.
We also take a concerted attention in the veterans community.
In moments of stress and trauma, we can get a hold of ourselves.
To help make a difference for people with disabilities, to show people how to love themselves or their disability.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys having me, giving this platform for myself and other people with disabilities.
Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this episode of the Disability Channel of Detroit. Please tune in next time.
And here we are. We have back with us again. Thank you for being back on another great episode of the Veterans Ranch Show. We have Christine Deane here with us. Been working with Christine for over a couple of years now. An absolutely amazing person to deal with. A heart bigger than this screen. True passionate patriot, brings a wealth of knowledge and experience to everything she does. Christine is a former mill spouse. She's going to talk about that. And she is also currently a Blue Star mom. So again, needless to say, she understands a lot about military life in general from really both sides of the coin. So without further ado, let's bring her in here. Christine, welcome to the Veterans Ranch Show.
Thank you, JR. I always enjoy spending time with you.
We tend to spend a lot together. We kiddingly, well, we won't talk about that joke, but Tell us more. I mean, I know I tried to give a resounding introduction there for you, but why don't you tell us more?
Do. Thank you.
Yeah, tell us more about who you are and just kind of what's brought you to this point.
Oh goodness, that's a really long story. How much time do we have? So, JR, I mean, you want me to start from the beginning? When I was born, we don't want to go back that
far. When I was knee high to the grasshopper. Yes. No, let's kind of talk about, let's really kind of get into yourself, your mill spouse, right? How you got into being involved with the military and let's just kind of move forward. Let's say past high school and let's move forward.
Well, I'm glad to see we survived high school, right? Yeah, for me, I know, when I was married, and my husband was in the Navy, and so way back when, brush the dust off there. Yeah, mil-spouse thing, right? But I was familiar with the military already. My grandfather was, well, we can't say was. You never say former Marine. They're always a Marine. But God rest his soul, he passed away, and I miss him. But, you know, he was a Marine. And I have to tell you, the family patriotism, you got to understand, you know, even when he was getting older and he couldn't remember anything and he was having problems and trying to remember things, you know, he'd be in his 80s and he still had his hat on, right? His military veteran hat on, right? For the Marines. So you always knew that he was a Marine, and he'd be in the hospital and he'd say, Christine, I need to get me out of here. Go get my M1, get me my tennis shoes. We're out of here. So from way back when, I always remember him being really proud of being a Marine. And that was a huge part of his younger life. And so that patriotism just kind of continued throughout my life. So when I married my first husband, and he was in the Navy, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. You know, I want to be supportive. We did the moving multiple locations. Every time you move, you don't know anybody. You kind of have to make new friends wherever you go. We were lucky we didn't go anywhere really far. At one point, I thought we were going to end up overseas in Guam, but that didn't happen. I was kind of grateful we were stateside. But now thinking back on it, you know, a little extra excitement might not have been a bad thing. But when I got pregnant with my oldest son, he was out to sea and I couldn't just tell him. So the struggles of a, you know, Blue Star, you know, as my son's in now. So just the military lifestyle has been an ongoing thing for me. I remember I couldn't call him and tell him, hey, guess what? We're pregnant, right? I had to actually send him a little baby bottle, and inside I wrote the word June, and I mailed that to him. And all of a sudden I get this really scratchy, you know, ship to shore phone. Great. And they're coming through. Is it true? Are we having a baby? Yes, we are. Right. So it's interesting, the challenges, as opposed to now, right? My son's active duty Air Force, and you know, he might be in one of those sandy places, but he can still FaceTime me. You know, what a different lifestyle it's changed into with the access with the military. But I've always been just a passionate patriot. It's been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. And so when my son had said, Mom, I want to join the service, I was like, heck yeah, go for it, baby. You know, I was telling him, do everything while you're young and dumb. And I'm like, see the world, go everywhere. Do it now before you're married and have kids, and just go have a blast. And, you know, great experience. You learn so much. So yeah, he's having a lot of fun in the Air Force. And then my good friend said, hey, you know, we've got this DFW Veterans Chamber of Commerce. And I said, what? She's like, I need you to help. I'm like, okay. Next thing you know, I'm on board with that. I'm on the board of directors there, having a great time playing in the veteran space. It's so wonderful to be able to continue to give back to that community. And then I stumble into JR.
I'm a big guy to stumble into, right? 6'4", 260. I'm a big guy to stumble into. Let's do this. We're going to do it a little early, but I got some more stuff I want to cover. Let's do a quick commercial break, and then we'll get into the chamber and a little bit led you up to that point. Folks, today we want to talk about InPhone. InPhone is the business tool pad that is such an awesome thing to have to stay connected with everyone. It is your digital business card that allows you to share so much more than what you can put on a card, right? You get somebody's business card and it's got 10,000 things, looks like ants crawling across the back of it. You're not hanging on to that card. You want something that is memorable. You need to reach out to our friends at InPhone. Folks, we use it. Here it is right here. So reach out to my buddy Steve Ramona today at infone.co/SR1. That is infone.co/SR1. Reach out to Steve today for more info. You won't regret it, and we'll be right back. we are back. It is another great episode. We are having a blast here today at the Veterans Ranch Show. Thank you again, Christine, for coming on today. So we've already talked a little bit about family. Going back so far in the service. I mean, my wife's the same way. Somebody in her family traced military service all the way back to George Washington. So when we always say it goes so deep in our family, both sides, it's really, really true.
Oh, that's not fair now, JR. You win because you can go all the way back that far. We can only go back, and we've got discharge papers to the Civil War. So,
yeah. Well, that's her. Me, I stop at World War II as far as I know with my grandfather. Her family, I'm sure we had some somewhere, but it went back way deep in her family. So, okay, let's start here, right? You've milspouse, now you got kids, now you're in Texas, but like everybody looks at me and says, well, JR, you got to be from Texas. No, I'm working on getting there as fast as I can, but originally from St. Louis, Missouri, now living in Lakeland, Florida, and then trying to work my way back west to the great state of Texas. But you're not from Texas, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm not from Texas at all. I'm from California. Moved to Texas, I want to say about 5 years ago, and I love it. I really wish I'd raised my boys here. The culture here is just fantastic. Family friendly, veteran friendly. I mean, it's a win in every direction as far as I'm concerned. So got here as fast as I could.
Yeah. I'm taking longer. I'll be 50 here at the end of the year, so I'm working my way there. But I am working on getting there.
Come to the dark side.
Yes, we're working and getting there. So, but in California, though, I read some stuff that you used to actually do some teaching. What did you teach? And
I know I had a life outside veterans. Isn't that weird? I did. I got my degree in communications. I taught college. I coached the speech and debate team. So communications has kind of been a thing for a long time. And I have to say, it's one of the most versatile degrees ever. And I want to meet somebody who doesn't communicate, right? I mean, it's kind of a standard, right? So whether it's writing, speaking, and the marketing side, I think I built my first website back in like 1990. So now I'm really dating myself. But, communication has always been something I've involved in everything that I've done. And so when I was teaching the communication courses. So part of that involved intercultural communication, interpersonal communication, relationship communication, you name it, we hit it, right? And the business communication side. So it's been a nice, strong background to take me forward in whatever career choice I wanted to go with. And now I just have a blast with it. I do so many different things in communication, I don't even know where to start.
So true, folks. I'm telling you, you can find Christine just about anywhere. I thought I was like Mr. Talk to Everybody, flap my gums, be on every social media platform known to man. Christine definitely gives me a run for my money on the daily. She'd be like, hey, have you met this person? Have you met this person, this person? I'm like, okay, look, I understand, the good Lord gives us 24 hours in every day, but do you sleep?
Well, it's questionable. Yeah. And that's really the whole business, right? My business is DFW Networking Diva. And the whole idea was I love connecting people, right? And it's all using the communication skills. So between connecting, marketing, helping small businesses with growing their business. I mean, I love what I do. Like, hey, let's produce a podcast. Okay. Whatever it is. Oh, I need a website. Okay. I'm just having a blast. And I get to work with the most awesome people. JR. It doesn't get any more awesome than this, right? But that's what I'm all about, right? I love mission-driven people, mission-driven organizations, mission-driven businesses. And when I say mission, I doesn't necessarily mean faith-based, right? But you have a goal, you have a mission, you want to do good in the world. You give me a do-gooder and I'm all over it. I'm like, where can I sign up? How can I help? What can I do? Can I give you some free advice? If you can't afford me, I understand. Here's some free advice. Run with it. Go, But I'm all about helping.
That's just the thing, folks. Let me verify that. Okay. I mean, if Christine can offer you some help, she'll do it. So much in this world, people are worried about the whiffum. Okay. The what's in it for me. And, Christine brings a true passion to what she does. She's very passionate about veteran and military life things across the board. And if she can, that old nickel's worth of advice phrase, just giving you a couple of bucks and I'm being, on the low end, right? On the advice he can give you and run with. And it's not going to be half-ass advice where, here's just a little bit of stuff and you got to come back and pay me to get the rest of the story, right? No, sure, we all, hey, cash runs the world, but if Christine can give you some advice that'll get you that next level, where maybe you can't hire her today, but that next level can let you hire her, she's going to do it because she's helping improve your business to where you can come back and she can help you improve it more. Am I right there?
Yeah, and that's really what it's about, right? Being able to help each other. We weren't meant to walk this earth alone. So if we can work together and, the tide rises all. So the idea is for us to all work together and help one another. And seriously, I've sat down, I'm like, okay, are you ready? It's kind of like, talking to me is kind of like drinking out of a fire hose, so I just have so much information. People are like, can you write that down? I'm like, nope, that's going to cost you money. But if you want to talk to me, that's fine. I had somebody, they had written notes for an hour meeting, like little tiny words, like 4 pages of front, back. I was like, wow, did I share that much with you? Like, yes. You take those notes and keep on going. I want to see people succeed. And a lot of times when we're spreading good in the world and we're out sharing things and offering advice and free advice and whatever it is, we don't always know what goes on after they leave us, right? Sometimes we get lucky and they'll reach out and be like, hey, I just wanted to say thank you. I did this, and this that you suggested, and I'm doing fantastic this way. I love when I get to hear that kind of stuff. We don't always get to know what's happening. Kind of like with the teaching days when the students would come back and go, Ms. D, guess what I did? I'm like, yes, good job, right? We don't always know the ripple effect that we have out there when we do good. So it's nice to be able to hear it once in a while and be able to stick around long enough to see what's going on. And that's what it's about when getting involved in all the nonprofits in the veterans community. It's about building that legacy so that we can continue to pay forward, and we've built something that the next generation continue to build and keep helping our veteran community. And I'm so passionate about that. Yeah, I work a lot with the small business owners. I work a lot with nonprofits, and the veterans space just has a special place in my heart. It always has.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, I can verify 10,000%. If it has, she will have 5 million things to do for the day. If it's something she believes in and knows you believe in at 10,000%, she'll find like 50,001 spot, especially in the veteran space. Can't tell you how many times, 10, 11 o'clock at night, we're just looking for another cup of coffee or a Red Bull or something. We're like, we got to get this done. So
right, it's a labor of love, and when you've got a gift, right, you need to share it. You need to share that gift with other people. And I know, JR, you're a fantastic connector yourself, so always out there looking for opportunities to help our veteran community. And it's one of the qualities that I admire about working with you. And because you're so passionate, it feeds into my passion on it. And together, there's times that we were working, like when we were building the website. Right. There are times I'm like, all right, I need a little bit more here. I need a little bit more there. Okay. What's your opinion on this? Right. And we're just collaborating on that to try and get the best thing that we can to reflect the Veterans Ranch. And when people come to visit, we want to know that, yeah, we mean business. We are really about helping the veterans. And that's what it's all about.
It truly is. I mean, you hear us here on the show preach it all the time, but it really is a giver's gain mentality. That's kind of become a coined phrase, but to really just quickly break that down, it is the old school giving you the shirt off your back, not expecting a thing in return. And that's one thing Christine embodies in her business. We try and do daily at the Veterans Ranch. When a veteran, like you say, the kids came back to you or a business person comes back to you, right now, the Veterans Ranch is currently running a 67% rate on veterans that come up and say, they do have some kind of PTS and come back and say our programs are helping. It's hard enough to get them to admit the PTS to begin with, but man, when they come back and say because I'll be the first to tell you, this is a good Lord and a horse. Okay. It is, they told us to go forth and prosper, and that's what we're doing. It's isn't about us as individuals. We're not, breaking our shoulder, patting ourselves on the back. When they come back and say, man, thank you. I didn't know I needed this, but this is really doing a great job. Melts your soul. I mean, it helps so much. And like you said, you're on the inside, you're doing cartwheels. You try and be cool. You're like, really appreciate it, man.
That's good. Inside you're going, yes. We're doing good in the world. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. And JR, you hit it on the head, right? When we hear about people coming back and going, wow, that made a difference. And the Veterans Ranch has that opportunity. And one of the reasons I love being involved in it, like I said, my baby, my baby's in his 20s, but my baby, he's active duty. And it doesn't mean that, how do I even phrase this, right? When you talk about active duty and then there's wartime, there's not wartime, but there's things that happen in the service. And there's times that you get exposed to things that, normal people don't get exposed to. Okay. It's different experiences. It's different work schedules. It's being exposed to accidents that are dangerous. It's losing your friends. It's a whole different kind of lifestyle. And unless you've been on the peripheral edge, whether you were in the service, your parents were in the service, your sister, your sibling, right? Your kids are in the service. You a lot of times don't know what's going on, and you don't know what's going on inside their head and their heart. And so we need to have a system in place for when they're struggling or when they're getting out, that we can help. Right. And I'll tell you, I'm selfish. I want us to have a strong veteran community. So when my son gets out, we can just put out open hands and say, what do you need? What do you need help with? Right. Are you struggling with PTS? What is it? Do you need a job? Whatever it is that you need, we're here to support you. And that's what I want to help create in our community. And I'm passionate about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, couldn't agree more, because the military is good at one thing. Okay. Breaking you down, building you up into what they want you to be, and go get the bad guy, right? Raise your right hand, protect the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Go get that bad guy so we can sit here and do what we're doing today. Their job is to not say, okay, now here's what you do in the real world when you get out. Because their real world for a minimum 4 years is that uniform and that branch that they're in.
Right. So and JR, really what it's talking about is that whole concept of what reality is for those in the service versus reality out of the service. And I think we should probably hit on that in a moment.
Yeah, I think you're right. Let's take another quick break here, and we're going to talk about one of Christine's other favorite passions, and that is the DFW Veterans Chamber of Commerce. Like she said, she is one of the heads and founders of that, and we're going to cover that after the break. But if you want to network with some absolutely amazing people like Christine, like me, and and I'm in Florida, okay? So this shows you we're talking about the DFW Veterans Chamber of Commerce. They're open to anybody, anywhere. If you are in business and you want to network with some amazing people, whether you're self-employed or you work for somebody else, they have folks from Edward Jones, they have folks in the veteran community, us from the Veterans Ranch, you name it, they can absolutely help you. And their passion is to grow your business. And as Christine just said, grow the veteran community. So what we want you to do is, if you want to, again, network with some amazing people in the heartland of America, go to dfwveteranschamber.org. Again, dfwveteranschamber.org. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Dave Stevens for the Disability Channel.
An inability to break out. I'm sitting by the door on the second floor, losing my 7-year war. It's not an illusion, so why the exclusion?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's about you. So.
You say you're a disability dynamo.
Joining me, and welcome to this beautiful Travelers Championship.
I only want one accolade from you.
So my story is unique, it's amazing, but it's not anything that you guys don't have inside of you. I'm not a hero, I'm not anybody special, I'm just this guy without legs that went out, and I just did it.
Stats outweigh the Democrats, the diplomats, and the bureaucrats.
This is probably your first interview down on the ground on your butt and stuff like
first
that?
Time ever,
all
baby.
Right.
Eliminate and validate and validate and validate.
Stay with us and the Disability Channel.
All right. right, again, folks, welcome back. So, yeah, we're talking about passion for veterans, active duty military, because, folks, y'all got to understand that, right? Everybody's veteran today may have been active duty yesterday. You know, we think about Vietnam, World War II, Korea, everything else. But, folks, we spent 20 years in Afghanistan. There's still stuff going on around the world today. So we have to build that strong network community. And Christine, I want you to touch on what the DFW Veterans Chamber is really bringing into that I've seen over the last couple of years. And just, I tell you, folks, they're an amazing group of people. Speak on that some.
I would love to tell you more about the chamber. I absolutely love being involved with the DFW Veterans Chamber. I get to work with Christy Remmel, who's the president of the chamber. She said, all right, I don't want to do this alone. I can't do this alone. Let's do this. And so we gathered people and we created the board of directors, and we're just bringing more people in and building more of the community. And really the goal for the DFW Veterans Chamber is the idea that if a veteran can be financially stable, then everything else in his life can be easier, right? Or her life. Sorry, let me clarify that one, because Christy Remmel is definitely a veteran herself. So there's a need for that financial stability, whether it's employment or whether it's through business, right? If you want to own a business, then we find a lot of veterans do very well in business ownership, or even with a franchise business, right? They do really well there also. But the idea is to get that financial stability so then you can work on everything else in your life. If you don't have a roof over your head, you don't have food in your belly, and you can't take care of your family, everything else becomes more of a struggle. So our job is to help with this whole employment concept, whether you're going to be self-employed, right, own your own company. There's a lot of veteran organizations out there to support all the different needs. At the same time, we want to do what we do best, and we let other people do what they do best. So we just want to continue to partner in the organizations out there so that we can be that resource. So when people come to us and say, hey, we need help with, right? And we've partnered with all sorts of different organizations that provide service dogs or wheelchairs, or, there's so many different organizations. I don't even know where to start, but the idea is to partner within our community. And thank goodness that it's a very strong veteran community in Texas. So we have a lot of support, and we bring in a lot of the different business owners. So it's not just veteran-owned businesses, though, because I am a passionate patriot. I am not a veteran, never served. However, family members obviously have. And so we work with everybody, right? So if you're a veteran, you want to come. The best thing about a veterans chamber, though, is we actually deal with veteran issues, not just your standard chamber. So we're not going to say we're going to replace your other chamber, but we're going to offer you a little something extra that you don't get at the standard chambers. So we are lots of business owners working together to try and help one another. We do a lot of trainings. Every month we do a entrepreneurial workshop. And so we invite everybody to join us. And I should probably tell you, we meet online because DFW, Dallas, Fort Worth is kind of a big area. So expecting anybody to drive an hour or 2 or 3 hours to get to a meeting would be really difficult. So we always meet online on Friday mornings. So we've been doing that for years now at 7:30 in the morning. But the last Friday is the entrepreneurial workshop. And we have a great director for that, Irving Chung, and he gets the best speakers for us. And sometimes I'll slide one in too. But we do things related to sales, or maybe it's marketing, or maybe it's business strategy. We have so many different guests that come in and just pour into our members and help share their knowledge with us. So that free training is the last Friday of the month. We love that. We have our meetings every Friday. And we also do in-person stuff, but we kind of have it scattered throughout the DFW. So the idea is to have a local place where you can get together in person and meet with other veterans. So we've got, McKinney Chamber, we've got something over in the Crossroads, we've got something down in Plano. So we're bouncing all over the place, and we're always looking for places to open another meeting that's going to be a local in that area. So if anybody's interested in starting a little city circle in their area, feel free to reach out. We really want to partner with the veterans in the community. We want to partner with the organizations. We want to partner with other businesses. So if this sounds like something you want to get involved in, please reach out. We would love to have a conversation with you. And of course, we're always looking for sponsors, because that's how that works, right? If anybody wants to sponsor the chamber.
That's right. Folks, we all love to say the world doesn't run on peaches, roses, and fluffy bunnies. Okay, it runs on
It doesn't?
cash. Yeah, I've tried. I've yet to find that fluffy bunny come running across. I go get one out of my front yard, it runs away. So I mean, folks, we're gonna kind of wrap this up here today. Again, thank you so much to Christine. Please reach out to her. Her contact information will be in the show notes. The DFW Veterans Chamber, Christy Remmel. Hell, reach out to me. I'll get you in the right direction. Okay, but what we really want to wrap up with here, folks, is to always please like, comment, share, subscribe to all of our socials, the Disability Channel socials, our socials, Christine's socials. Sorry, you'll find us everywhere. That's how just an easy way of how we can help share and grow each other's networks. But yes, folks, this kind of stuff does run on cash. So if you like what you're seeing here today and the hard-hitting content, relevant content, that the Veterans Ranch Show brings to, everybody, not just the veteran community, then go to theveteransranch.org, peruse through the entire website. Christine built it. So if you want a website, I'm going to give her one more plug. You want a website, reach out to her. If you like it, if you don't like it, keep your opinions to yourself. If
you have a really nice website, JR. I just thought I'd tell you.
Yeah. So, reach out to her if you want a website built. She does an awesome job and loves your input. But, highlight over, get involved, and, donate to the Veterans Ranch. Give what you can. If it's $1, $5, $10, $22 a month, $44 a month, whatever you can or want to do, whatever's on your heart is what we ask people to do, so we can keep bringing this kind of content out on a weekly basis and eventually on a daily basis. One last point, we have a brand new thing on the website that we want to talk about. At the beginning of the show, you heard us talk about 44 veteran suicides a day. I know it sounds like a made up number, folks. It is confirmed. The research is out there. You can find it. But we have created a virtual wall called Operation Final Roll Call. So when you go to theveteransranch.org, you can click on Operation Final Roll Call. That is for everyone who served with honor and distinction, made it home, or just did their time in the service. Maybe they weren't deployed, but they lost their battles with the demons. Folks, that is not who they were. That is not what we want them to be remembered for. Okay, they were brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, athletes, scholars. They were great people, and they're still great people. So go on there to Operation Final Roll Call. You can fill out your family members or your brother in arms, as long as you have permission from the family to share the information. Put a couple pictures up there and put something amazing about that individual up there. We are going to shine a giant floodlight on veteran suicide, folks. This needs to be water cooler talk, daily talk. You need to go, hey, did you hear we're at 44 a day? Because the more we talk about it, the more this problem can start to go away. That's how you shine a light on a shadow and it goes away. So help us financially if you can. Help us spread the word. Again, like and share this content. And if you know someone that unfortunately lost their battle with the demons, help honor them and their family by going to Operation Final Roll Call on the website and putting up their information. Again, Christine, thank you so much for being on the show today. Come back next week, right here on the Disability Channel, where we're going to be bringing you some more great content right here on the Veterans Ranch Show. And as we always say, y'all take care. Giddy up.